I teach Spanish, and it's a really tough job. There are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of really talented kids who are not using the gifts they were born with. They come up to a certain point, decide they're just not going to do it anymore. And it's a real shame to see them take that turn and either drop out or not be able to realize their dreams. They want to go to four-year schools. They don't have a clue how to get into them. They don't take advice. They end up going to community college or finding a job somewhere, and there's so much talent going to waste. Well, I think there needs to be a real improvement in parenting. There are far too many single-parent households where, of course, the parent is dedicated to bringing the child up, but they don't have the time or even the skills necessarily to bring their kids up in a way that they would like to see. Perhaps we need to help each other more. Maybe people need to band together more and help one another out. I don't know what the answer is, but the answer has to start at home. There's got to be a real understanding that stability is necessary and dedication, and it's not all just wishes and hopes. Yes, it's gotten a lot worse. Our just speaking in terms of our department budget, it is almost half as much as it was last year. So there have been drastic cuts. We can afford to buy paper and not much else. People buy their own tape, their own paper clips. You name it, they have to dig into their own pockets to do it. Our salaries aren't increasing, they're stagnant. They need to do a better job of putting their budget priorities in the right place, and they're not putting them into schools. There's far too much going on at one time. We're asked to juggle too many balls in the air. We can't be all things to all people, and we're data crunchers, we're mentors, we're teachers, we're administrators, we're babysitters. We are all sorts of things that we have to do. The data that we have to collect cuts into teaching time. The meetings we have to attend regarding the data we have to collect cut into teaching time. Students are constantly being pulled out for remediation, for testing, for various things. They're not in class for us to teach them. They have to catch up. There are absentee problems that are being addressed constantly, but then there's the catch-up. There's a myriad of things. You really have to be there to understand how many things are impacting what we're trying to do. Now, I'd like to see anybody who wants to go into politics have to teach for a year, and in a Title I school.
Oh, what does Title I school mean?
Title I school is where a certain large percentage of students get free and reduced lunch. It's a high poverty school. And all the problems that go along with that, plus all of the burdens that the state and the federal government are putting on the schools. And see how much juggling you have to do and how much that cuts into your ideal of what teaching should be. It's just incredible how much impact testing has had. Testing has had good and bad influences. The good is that students are much more focused than they were because they know they have to pass these tests. And some of their basic skills have improved. But the problem is that they're constantly asking them to improve them more and more and more. Granted that they need to, but that is cutting into everyone's teaching. I teach Spanish, for example. I have to administer several essays per year in English, and I have to grade them. I have to give students readings in English every so often, and they have to read for certain skills, for instance, reading for implication. I have to grade those. I have to keep that data. I have to compile the data from all of the teachers in my department. I have to crunch the data the way they want it and turn that in. It's a constant set of interruptions to teaching. We have fairly complex curricula we have to get through. Only a certain amount of time to make it through. And basically what we end up doing is pulling out the essentials, teaching those, and hoping for the best when it comes down to the test. You know, leave us alone to teach, leave us alone to be creative in our teaching. We don't have time to do that. Absolutely no time to do that. People are staying after, they're coming early. They're teaching extra classes. In Hillsborough County, we have to teach an extra class more than we used to. We have one less planning period than we used to. What do? We come early, we stay late. We take work home. We're required to constantly update our skills, so we have to go to seminars and trainings constantly. There's no time for life for some people, especially new teachers. There are so many required trainings they have to go to. They don't have time to turn around. Their entire lives are eaten up by work and requirements. I feel sorry for anyone coming into the teaching profession right now. It's tough. It's very tough. And then they will be evaluated from day one. They'll constantly be observed. They'll have informal and formal observations. There are criteria they have to meet while trying to learn their craft. It's very difficult indeed.
Wow.
Yeah. You think that's wow, you should try doing it.